Okay, so we've got this comedian right now, and he's known for not holding back at all,
Yeah.
like really pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, someone who really kind of thrives on that edge a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. So picture this guy getting this message like an invitation
Uh-uh.
to go on Big Boss, that crazy reality show.
Yeah.
And his response is basically like, thanks, but no thanks. I'd rather be in a mental hospital.
I saw that headline too, yeah.
It's everywhere right now. And it's like more than just a funny story.
Right. It's not just about like celebrity gossip. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's like, what does this say about free speech and where things are at right now?
Exactly. Yeah. When someone like Kunal Kamra, who's built his whole career on being this like sharp-tongued, anti-establishment kind of voice.
Right. He's like the poster child for that.
Yeah. He says no to like the biggest reality show in India. I think that says something.
Definitely. So that's what we're going to dig into today. We're looking at this report from Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. And it lays out this whole exchange, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, Kunal Kamra, he doesn't mince words.
He does not.
He's always kind of taking aim at the powers that be, and he's definitely gotten into some hot water over it. So
Right,
when
yeah.
he so strongly rejects Big Boss, it's like, what's behind that decision?
Right. Like, what's going on that makes that whole world of reality TV seem less appealing than, other options?
Right.
It's kind of wild. So let's break it down.
Yeah.
So first of all, how did this whole thing even start? Like, how did they approach him?
Well, from what I've read, it was super casual.
Really?
Yeah, he shared a screenshot on his Instagram story. It was just a WhatsApp message
Wow.
from someone claiming to be a casting director for Big Boss.
So not even like a formal email or anything?
Nope, just a WhatsApp, like, hey, what's up?
So was it for the regular season or the OTT version?
The report's a little vague on that. It could have
Okay.
been either season 19, which is the main one, or the OTT version, which would be season 4 of that, I guess.
Right.
But the point is, they reached out, and the message itself was pretty much like the standard casting spiel.
Like, we think you'd be great on the show. It's a huge platform,
Yeah, exactly. Something like you'll have the chance to connect with a massive audience and show your authentic self.
Right, the classic reality show pitch.
Uh-huh. Come spend a few months in a house with strangers and maybe become a household name.
And then Kunal's response was just so perfectly him,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Classic Kunal.
He just fired back. I'd much rather check into a mental hospital.
Straight to the point.
No filter. It's amazing. And you think about it, for a lot of people, Big Boss is like this golden ticket.
Right. It's a path to fame, whether you want it for good reasons or bad reasons or somewhere in between.
Totally. So just shut that down so bluntly. There's got to be more to this story.
Yeah, there's layers to this onion.
For sure. So to get the full context right, we need to talk about what Kunal's been up to lately.
Yeah, the report highlights his new YouTube special.
The one that came out last month. Naya, heard it, right?
Yeah, March 2025. That's when it dropped.
And the title alone kind of hints that it wasn't exactly lighthearted comedy.
Oh, no, it was definitely not your average stand-up routine.
So what went down?
Well, from what I gather, Kunal took aim at some pretty powerful figures.
Like who?
Well, most notably, Maharashtra's Deputy Chief Minister Eknath Shinde.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he didn't hold back. He called Shinde a traitor.
Yikes.
Yeah, you can imagine how that landed.
I bet it caused quite a stir.
Oh, absolutely. The report says it totally divided people. Some were cheering him on.
Like, good for you for speaking truth to power.
Yeah, exactly. But others were furious.
And probably not just expressing their anger online.
No, this is where things got real.
Right, because calling someone a traitor,
Yep.
especially a high-ranking politician.
Yeah, you don't just get away with that.
So what happened?
Well, according to the report, multiple FIRs were filed against Kunal by the Mumbai police.
FIRs meaning?
First information reports, basically formal complaints that trigger an investigation.
No, serious legal stuff.
Yeah, and the first one was filed back on March 24th at the Car police station.
So this Big Boss offer came right in the middle of all this.
Yeah, talk about bad timing.
Wow, okay, so he's got these legal troubles brewing, and then the day before this whole Big Boss thing blows up,
Uh-huh.
he makes this public plea to BookMyShow.
Right, he wrote them an open letter.
Yeah, on Monday, April 7th.
And it was basically begging them not to take down his show listings.
Oh,
Or if they were going to do that, at least give him the contact information for his fans.
which apparently he's been trying to get from them since 2017.
Yeah, it seems like he's been hitting a wall with them for years.
I mean, think about it. As an artist, being able to connect with your audience directly is everything.
Totally, especially someone like Kunal who operates independently.
Right. He's not part of some big corporation.
Yeah, so to have that access cut off, it's a huge blow.
So what did BookMyShow say in response to his letter?
You know, They were pretty vague.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they basically said it wasn't their decision to remove the listings.
Oh,
Yeah, right. But here's the thing. The report also mentions that they did actually take down Kunal's shows.
they did.
Yeah, on April 5th, just a couple days before.
So they're saying it wasn't their choice, but they did it anyway.
Exactly. And the alleged reason, well, it was pressure from Eknath Shinde's supporters.
Oh, so they were feeling the heat.
Yeah, and there's even a quote from this Shiv Sena youth leader, Rahul N. Kanal.
What do you say?
He publicly thanked BookMyShow for removing the shows.
Wow, so they were definitely playing both sides.
It seems that way, yeah. They claim neutrality, but their actions tell a different story.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Kunal called them out on it too, didn't he?
He did, yeah. In his letter, he said that BookMyShow basically has a monopoly.
Right, they're the biggest player in the game.
Yeah, and he argued that his audience was being held hostage by their decisions.
I mean, it's a valid point for independent artists getting deplatformed by someone like BookMyShow.
It's like having the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah, your whole livelihood can be affected.
Exactly. So he's dealing with all that. And on top of that, he's also fighting these legal battles.
Right, the report talks about him going to the Bombay High Court
Yeah, he's asking them to quash the FIRs against him.
to throw them out, basically.
Yeah. His argument is that his comments were part of his comedy act.
Protected under free speech.
Exactly. And the next hearing is scheduled for April 16th, so it's coming up soon.
Okay, and there's also this detail about the Madras High Court.
Right. They granted him interim anticipatory bail until April 17th.
Anticipatory bail, meaning?
It's basically pre-arrest bail. So in that jurisdiction, he's protected from being arrested.
For now.
Yeah, at least until that date.
And the report mentions he's been in Tamil Nadu recently, so it sounds like he's being strategic about this whole thing.
Yeah, possibly laying low while things heat up in Mumbai.
Understandable. And let's not forget the really scary part of all this, the death threats.
Yeah, the report says he's received hundreds of them since Naya was released.
Hundreds? That's terrifying.
It's a stark reminder of the risks that come with speaking out, especially against those in power.
Right, and apparently he's even requested to do police questioning virtually.
Yeah, instead of appearing in person, which is understandable given the threats.
It's really unsettling. So here we have Kunal facing legal action, professional setbacks, and serious threats to his safety.
And then, out of the blue, he gets this offer to go on Bigg Boss.
It's almost comical. Like, why would a reality show want him now, of all times?
Well, you got to think about it from their perspective.
Like how?
To them, Kunal is a ratings goldmine.
Right. Controversy sells.
Absolutely, and he's basically a walking headline.
Every move he makes generates buzz.
Yeah, they probably figured he'd bring that same energy to the Bigg Boss house.
Like, imagine him in there roasting the other contestants.
Oh, yeah, nonstop commentary.
Maybe even turning on the show itself, like talking directly to the cameras.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, it could have been wild, but instead he's like, nah, I'd rather be in a mental hospital.
Yeah, his actual response was, I'd rather be in a mental asylum than be in that Bigg Boss circus, that padded cell.
It's dark humor, but it also says a lot about how he sees the situation.
Right. He's basically saying that even the potential fame and exposure that Bigg Boss offers,
It's not worth it.
yeah, it's not worth the potential cost to his mental well-being.
And maybe even more importantly, his sense of self.
Right. Like he's not willing to compromise who he is for a reality show.
It's admirable, and it's worth noting that this isn't the first time Kunal's been in hot water.
Oh, no, this is par for the course with him.
He's got a history of taking on powerful figures.
Yeah, the BJP government, Mukesh Ambani, that incident with the news anchor on the plane back in 2020.
He's not afraid to ruffle feathers.
It's kind of his thing.
And I Heart wasn't just some off-the-cuff thing either.
No, it was a carefully crafted piece.
The report says he performed it live 60 times before releasing it on YouTube.
Yeah, and the script was finalized back in July 2024, so this was all planned out.
A calculated risk.
Yeah, and it's also important to mention the involvement of MLA Murji Patel in the backlash.
Right, that adds another layer of complexity.
It shows how deeply intertwined politics and comedy have become.
For sure. So when you look at all this, Kunal's situation really highlights this tension between free speech and, the potential to offend.
Yeah, that line is always blurry, especially when you're talking about satire.
Right, and Kunal's been very clear that he won't apologize for a joke.
Yeah, his stance is basically just because you don't like something doesn't make it illegal.
Exactly, and in a way, his refusal to go on Bigg Boss is kind of an extension of that.
Right, it's like he's choosing to face the consequences of his speech head on.
Instead of escaping into this manufactured reality.
Yeah, he's committed to his style of commentary, even if it comes with risks.
Okay, so to sum it all up, we've got Kunal Kamra, this outspoken comedian who was invited to join Big Boss,
Yeah, and his response was basically, I'd rather be in a mental hospital.
which is pretty telling considering everything he's going through.
Right. He's facing legal trouble, professional setbacks, and death threats, all because of his comedy.
And his mental hospital comment, while it's obviously a joke, it also speaks volumes.
Yeah, it shows the immense pressure he's under and his decision to prioritize his well-being and his artistic integrity.
Over the kind of fleeting fame that Big Boss offers.
Right. He's not willing to sell out for a reality show.
And it really makes you think about where we are as a society, you know?
Yeah.
What's the role of satire? What are the limits of free speech? And how do we deal with these clashes between different viewpoints?
Especially when those viewpoints challenge the people in power.
Exactly. It's complex, and it seems like Kunal Kamra's story is far from over.
Oh, definitely. With those legal battles still ongoing, I think we'll be hearing a lot more from him.
For sure. And who knows, maybe he'll even address this whole Big Boss thing in his next stand-up routine.
No, that would be something to see.
I'd buy a ticket to that show.
Me too.
All right, well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, but here's something I keep coming back to.
Yeah.
It's about the power of saying no. You know,
Interesting.
like Kunal Kamra had this opportunity, this huge platform with Big Boss.
Right. A chance to reach millions of people.
Exactly. And he said no.
And it wasn't a casual no. It was a very deliberate and public no.
Yeah. And it made me think about all the times we say yes to things we don't really want.
Out of obligation or fear or just habit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes saying no, even when it's hard, even when there's pressure.
It can be the most powerful thing you do.
Totally. It's about setting boundaries, protecting your well-being, and staying true to yourself.
Yeah, I like that.
So the next time you're faced with a choice, think about Kunal Kamra and the power of saying no.
That's a good takeaway.
Food for thought.
Definitely.
All right, until next time.
Take care.